Silver is much more industrial now. 20 years ago, it was maybe it was 30% industrial. Now it's over 50%. Solar panels and all that fun stuff, and electrification, decarbonization, and anesthetics, and things, for medical purposes. But it's not happening. I mean, it's just supply comes on too easy every time it goes up, and it's stuck at this price of $24 an ounce. The key thing is deflation is the natural, organic, human trend, and it's accelerating at a greater pace. It just had a blip in that trend for a good reason, COVID, and we're going to resume that trend. So the way I look at inflation, look at next year. We're going to measure prices from the highest bar in commodities ever. The Bloomberg Commodity Index is at the highest price ever. The last time it made new highs, it's right around here. The CPI within a year or two was running negative a few years later. Why? Because it has to measure year over year. And so to me, that's the measure that's going to matter. And I fully expect a big macro picture that's most enduring trend in the planet that's really worked well for me this year is the declining yield of U.S. government bond yields. Right now, the 30-year long bond is 1.8. I don't go to the 10-year because I fully expect that one to go negative or zero. The 30-year bond has the most basis points left, 1.8%. I started trading when they were closer to 9%, and that was in the 80s. And that trend's been down forever. And it's one of the key indicators this year is, Justin, one of my favorite trades so far this year is and I'll be publishing on this by the time we speak, is when an enduring trend becomes against consensus, beware. And that's what happened with bonds this year. Every single strategist, with the exception of few, said yields are going up, and it's the end of the bear market in yields, or bull market for prices. And that's when I turned to myself and say, well, that's how I got promoted from the trading pitch in Chicago to New York. It was just being bullish bonds. So why should I change that? Particularly what's happening with rapidly advancing technology, pushing down the price of things, commodities that's happening, and then what's happening with demographic shifts. I mean, every population in the country, most know this country, are getting older, and we have a glut of savings, and the stock market's really expensive.